What's up, everybody? Address here. I wanted to make a quick video and update you on my current prompt enhancer application that I'm building, just to test out workflows, see what works, see how it feels like building an app, to be honest. Because as a designer, I was always having this hiccup of actually coding and developing stuff, but with AI, it becomes so much fun. So basically, in the previous episodes that I recorded, we were left off somewhere in this area where we were basically debating on how the actual AI enhancement is going to work. And in the first iterations, we were using a very complicated way, I would say, because you had to put on your key and then choose your favorite model from the available list that we had. And for some reason, we then saw Grok coming back in. So I was probably either working on a previous version that included Grok and then it got messed up, or I'm not very sure, to be honest. Probably some feedback loop with AI, etc., etc. So I was like, let's take a step back. Let's go back to Figma. Let's try and mock up something that would work better. I also used Lovable as well. Sorry. So we were pretty much at a very good stage where we have this model, this enhancement options is not working anymore. And then we have a quick settings button that pops up this model where you can add your key. And then where we need to basically rethink stuff is in this area, how to basically effectively use AI models without the user having to choose one. So this was my main idea here. And I was also experimenting with landing pages, but it's whatever for now. So today, what I wanted to check out, since this app is working and was stable, I wanted to see how well it can take a prompt, basically. So I wanted to test a prompt where I ask for an action to happen. And unfortunately, as you can see here, the enhancement is very poor. It just kind of slightly enhanced the text. So I was like, I'm not really satisfied with that. And I went back to Cortex Suna and I was basically deciding on how I can improve this. And to my surprise, once I improved it, it didn't really work. It actually replied to the request instead of improving the sentence. As you can see here, I would be happy to provide guidance and stuff. So that's bad for sure. So I went back to Suna. The tool that I use is something similar to Manus, but I use the open source version. And we did a refactoring report and we basically realized that what would be the best way to use those AI tools. And after a couple of back and forths, we still see that whenever I ask, like I need a sword, I want to, instead of improving the whole sentence and not reacting to the request, it still reacts to the request, because here the output is basically the copy for the LinkedIn post that I never asked for from this UI. So I was basically trying to troubleshoot this specific issue. And again, bad generation, a bad build for now. So I went back to ChatGPT and I was like, I need to find how I can basically find why the AI does not get it. So I was like, imagine that you're a user writing a draft prompt and then you place it into an enhancer. So he's like, oh, I need a short LinkedIn post, like a very, very draft sentence. So I was then like, demonstrate a proper prompt enhancement. So the enhancement would be write a concise and engaging LinkedIn post, basically not responding to the request. So this was my example that I actually put into the Cortex Suna chat just to get Suna to understand what I'm trying to build here. So this is a correct example, basically. To my surprise, for some reason, it went ahead and changed everything about the application, which was crazy to me. So this is immediately a no-no. I didn't ask for it. So as I see here, bad, it changed the UI dramatically. So I never asked you to redesign this. I then went ahead and pasted the example again in order to improve the prompt instead of acting upon it. So supposedly it made it work, but as you can see here now, the AI implementation doesn't work because it just pastes the text that I have here. So now we're facing another issue. And here the idea was that I went back and I was like, something doesn't make sense here. Why are we using Claude or ChatGPT or combos of all of those models? And I went back to Open Router and I was like, why are we not using something like Kimi? I mean, I used it immediately. And when I said in the test chat that they had on Open Router, enhance the following text, as you can see, Kimi here acted upon it, which wasn't what I wanted basically. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's probably the way that I phrase it, because whenever I say enhance, it just acts upon it. It just writes the LinkedIn post. But when I say text, but when I say enhance the following prompt, for some reason, Kimi understands it and it just enhances my prompt. So I was like, that's weird. I explained this whole thing to Suna. I also added this as a screenshot. And it was like, you're absolutely right. Classic ego stroking. The content generator is taking requests and creating instead of basically interpreting the user and refining the sentence that the user put. So now that we actually managed to make Suna understand the whole concept, funnily enough, the next generation that we got from it was actually correct. And we are now using Claude and ChatGPT. So basically, we're using a dual model where our primary model is Claude, and then the fallback model is ChatGPT. But you can also do that with free models as well, as far as I understand here, because it's equally efficient. So now I was trying to do some live testing with tricky and very weird sentences in order to see how well the enhancement and the AIs are going to handle it. And as you can see on all examples, the generation that we got is the AI improving the sentence and not acting upon it. Tweet about loans, hype but not cringe, maybe emojis, don't say free or cheap. In any other ways, an AI would start acting upon it. But in our case, they are just refining the prompt, compose a concise, hype-driven tweet. So any of those like tricky examples and tricky prompts are just being generated and refined properly now. And this happens to any of the other examples. Even if you have like weird syntaxes, it still analyzes them perfectly and creates an elevated sentence. So in a way, what we managed to do so far is to have a good UI and UX, the whole flow of inputting a sentence, getting the output, having a simple settings model that you can add your key. Everything works well at this stage, at least in terms of user experience. And my biggest hiccup is trying to find the best model compo or the best use of the Open Router client to get some nice prompt enhancements. So in the beginning, if you remember or if you watched the older episodes, we had a way more overcomplicated way of doing that with, let me see if I can find some of the older ones. Here you can see some of the older ones. No, this was the initial one. Wait. In the earlier stages, this is how it looked basically. Here's my screenshot. So had a way more complicated system of actually providing some sort of customization with those enhancement styles that never worked. So I was like, fuck that, doesn't make sense. And I went ahead and basically had a discussion with Suna to understand how I can use AI models more effectively. So we went back to basics for sure. We went back to a more clear UI UX. We focused only on the AI improvements. And we are now using a two-model system, basically, with Claude and ChatGPT. After that, we had the mock data discovery. Oh, this is basically why, after a while, the API wasn't working. Because for some reason, the AI decided to now stop doing the actual implementation and mock it up. Anyways, we actually fixed that with our new two-model system and the Open Router API integration, which is great. We had a couple of bugs. Yeah, I remember that. After a couple of generations, whenever I was clicking enhance in order to basically improve my sentence, the settings model was popping up. So I was basically fixing a couple of bugs here. And This was the most annoying part of all, because throughout all this time, the AI builder that I was using thought that I was creating a content generator, or at least it mentions it. I'm not very sure, but we actually need a prompt enhancer. No shit. Mind blowing stuff right here. And it also adds the example of the differences. And we're basically now in a great stage where whenever you paste a hella rough and weird sentence, you can actually get an enhanced prompt by just placing your API key. So I'm actually very, very happy that this application is working. And I want to show it to you as well. First of all, I went ahead and used the GitHub repo that I actually pushed everything to clone it again, drop it on Windsurf. And I asked Windsurf to basically create a landing page using the design aesthetic that the app has already. So now you basically are greeted by a cool landing page that needs a ton of work, of course. But whenever you click on try now, you're just right inside the application. You can add your Open Router API key here. And then let's try a difficult example for our test here. We can use, let me find the other ones here. Let's use a very, very powerful one, which is a command basically. Draft a 400 to 500 word post about magnesium. So let's see if enhanced text will actually enhance it, or it will follow up with AI acting upon it. So let's click enhancing. As you can see, here's the clearer version of the prompt. Write a comprehensive blog post explaining the relationship between magnesium, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, it didn't act upon it, but it improved it. So you can definitely copy this, grab this, and paste this. So it actually works. I'm very happy about it. I think the next steps now is to basically refine the UI more, see if there are any free solutions that I can use in order to make this even less costly. And apart from that, I don't know, I really enjoy this journey of building apps, tying everything into design, branding, the stuff that I love. So I will definitely keep on posting those. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about those videos? What kind of things would you like to see? And if you want to get to know me more and possibly partner up or work together or whatever, feel free to click the link below, book a call with me. I'm an expert brand designer, and I'm using AI nowadays to basically enhance my workflow, get paid more, and it's been happening so far. So if you want to learn more and if you want to connect, please click the link below, and see you in the next one.